My wife dumped me for being too fat, left me broken and alone in our Atlanta apartment, and what happened next will leave you speechless. Before I tell you how karma caught up with her, let me take you back to where it all began. Before we move on, tell me in the comments which state you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe. Tomorrow's episode may touch a story that is still unfolding. My brother Marcus had been warning me for months. Chitty, man, you need to open your eyes. Keisha is not the woman you married anymore. I laughed it off while finishing my third plate of Mama Lou's soul food on that humid Sunday afternoon in West End. The collard greens, mac and cheese, and fried chicken had always been my comfort, my escape from a world that judged my 350-pound frame since elementary school. Marcus shook his head, his athletic build a stark contrast to mine. We were sitting in my living room in Cascade Heights, the same house I had worked 2 jobs to afford. You see how she looks at you now? How she talks about your weight loss journey that never happens? How she is always at that gym in Buckhead with those fitness people? But I could not see it. Or maybe I refused to. Keisha was my everything, my high school sweetheart from Southwest Atlanta. The woman who said she loved me for my heart, not my size. The woman who promised through sickness and health, through thick and thin, literally and figuratively. What Marcus saw, what everyone else apparently noticed, was the shift. Keisha had started her fitness journey 6 months earlier. She joined an exclusive gym called Elite Fitness Atlanta, started posting transformation photos on Instagram, gained thousands of followers obsessed with her weight loss story. Her captions talked about discipline, dedication, and leaving behind things that no longer served her growth. I should have known those posts were about more than just weight. They were about me. Chitty, when was the last time she cooked for you? Marcus pressed. When was the last time she even ate with you? I thought about it. Weeks, maybe months. Keisha had switched to meal prep containers, protein shakes, and what she called clean eating. Meanwhile, I still drove to Busy Bee Cafe for lunch, still ordered pizza on Friday nights, still found solace in food when work at my IT firm became stressful. She is building something, I defended her. Her wellness coaching business is taking off. She is busy. Nah, bro, she is building a new life. And from what I am seeing on her Instagram, you are not in it. That night, I scrolled through Keisha's social media. Photo after photo of her at fitness events, wellness retreats, networking brunches in Midtown Atlanta. Her body had transformed dramatically. She had lost over 80 pounds, toned her muscles, changed her entire aesthetic. She looked amazing, confident, powerful. But in hundreds of photos, I appeared in exactly 0. It was like I had been erased from her narrative, photoshopped out of her success story. I met Keisha Washington at Frederick Douglass High School in Atlanta when we were both 16. She was the girl everyone overlooked, carrying extra weight, sitting alone at lunch, invisible to the popular kids who ruled the cafeteria. I was the fat kid who made people laugh, using humor as armor against the cruelty of teenagers who called me names, who made elephant sounds when I walked past, who questioned how someone my size could even fit in the classroom desks. We found each other in that special way broken people do. 2 souls who understood what it meant to be judged, to be reduced to a number on a scale, to be told you were less than because of how you looked. You are going to do something amazing one day, Keisha told me on our first date at Piedmont Park. We were 17, sharing a picnic blanket and fried chicken from a corner store. I can feel it. You are brilliant, Chitty. Your mind is incredible. Those words sustained me through years of doubt. While other guys got attention for their athletic builds or pretty boy looks, Keisha chose me. She saw past the 280 pounds I carried in high school, the 320 I reached in college, the 350 I eventually settled into as an adult. After graduating from Georgia State University with a computer science degree, I landed a solid job at a tech company in Alpharetta. The money was decent, but I wanted more for us. So I took a second job doing freelance web development at night, sometimes coding until 3 in the morning, fueled by energy drinks and leftover takeout. Keisha had dreams of opening a wellness and beauty business. She had always been interested in health and self-care, even when her own body did not reflect those interests. She talked constantly about creating a space where women could feel beautiful, confident, and empowered. "Baby, I want to build something that matters," she said one night in our small apartment in College Park. "A boutique where women can get their hair done, their nails done, buy wellness products, take fitness classes, a one-stop shop for transformation." I believed in her vision even when no one else did. I saved $30,000 over 3 years, cutting every possible expense. I ate cheap meals, drove a beat-up Honda Civic, never bought new clothes, and skipped outings with friends. Every dollar went into our dream fund. When Keisha found the perfect location in upscale Buckhead, a 2,000-square-foot space that needed complete renovation, I did not hesitate. I handed over my entire savings. "Are you sure?" she asked, tears in her eyes. "This is everything we have." "We are building this together," I told her. "Your success is my success." I did more than just finance her dream. I built her entire digital presence. I designed her website, set up her e-commerce platform, created her social media strategy, handled her accounting software, and even helped paint the walls of Keisha's wellness boutique during those early renovation days. The grand opening of Keisha's wellness boutique in Buckhead happened on a perfect Saturday morning in May. The place looked absolutely stunning. Exposed brick walls, modern lighting fixtures, a juice bar in the corner, retail displays showcasing organic beauty products, and a small fitness studio in the back for classes. I had worked 16-hour days for 3 months to ensure everything was perfect. The website I built had online booking, e-commerce integration, email marketing automation, and social media connectivity. I had taught myself graphic design to create her logo, her business cards, her promotional materials. Keisha looked radiant that day in a fitted dress that showed off her curves. She had started losing weight around this time, maybe 20 pounds, and she glowed with the excitement of entrepreneurship. "None of this happens without you," she whispered to me during a quiet moment before customers arrived. "You are my rock, Chitty, my foundation. I love you so much." I held her close, ignoring the fact that my 350-pound body was already sweating through my dress shirt in the Atlanta heat. I ignored the way some of her new business associates looked at me with barely concealed judgment. I ignored everything except the pride I felt watching my wife chase her dreams. The boutique took off faster than either of us anticipated. Keisha had a gift for connecting with women, for making them feel seen and valued. She offered hairstyling, nail services, facials, massage therapy, wellness coaching, and fitness classes. She partnered with local trainers, nutritionists, and beauty professionals. Within 6 months, Keisha's wellness boutique had become the talk of Atlanta's wellness community. Black women from all over the city came for services. Her Instagram following grew from 500 to 15,000. She started getting featured in local magazines, invited to wellness panels, asked to speak at women's empowerment events. And as her business grew, so did her obsession with personal transformation. She hired a personal trainer named Darius Thompson, a former college athlete with a chiseled physique and a massive social media following. He offered to train her in exchange for promoting his fitness brand at her boutique. "It is just business," Keisha assured me when I expressed mild concern. "Darius is helping me get fit so I can be a better representation of the wellness brand. You cannot sell health if you do not look healthy." The logic made sense, but something in my gut felt uneasy. I watched as Keisha began training 6 days a week, completely overhauling her diet, documenting every workout, every meal, every small victory on Instagram. Her followers loved the transformation content. Comments poured in praising her dedication, her discipline, her glow-up. Meanwhile, I remained the same, still working my IT job in Alpharetta, still doing freelance coding at night to help cover the boutique's operating costs, still eating comfort food to deal with the stress and exhaustion. If anything, I had gained weight, pushing past 360 pounds. "Chitty, you should join me at the gym," Keisha suggested one evening, her tone hovering between concern and frustration. "Darius said he could train both of us." "Baby, I am working 2 jobs to keep everything afloat," I reminded her. "I barely have time to sleep, let alone work out." She sighed, that particular sigh that communicated disappointment without words. "You are always making excuses." Keisha's transformation accelerated over the following year, and with it came a transformation in her personality that I barely recognized. The woman who once shared comfort food with me at midnight, who understood the struggle of being overweight in a world obsessed with appearance, had become someone else entirely. She lost 80 pounds total, going from a size 16 to a size 4. Her social media exploded to over 50,000 followers. Brands started sending her free fitness wear, supplements, and wellness products. She became a micro-influencer in Atlanta's health and fitness community, attending exclusive events, networking with successful entrepreneurs, and building a personal brand separate from the boutique. "Babe, I need new content for Instagram," she said one Sunday morning, setting up her phone to record herself making a protein smoothie. My engagement is highest when I post morning routine videos. I watched from the couch where I sat eating leftover pizza from the night before. The contrast was not lost on either of us. She was in designer athletic wear, her body lean and toned. I was in sweatpants that barely fit, my stomach spilling over the waistband. "Maybe you could be in the video with me?" she suggested, but her tone lacked genuine enthusiasm. "We could do a couple's wellness journey thing." "Keisha, I look nothing like the people in your content," I said honestly. "Your followers want to see transformation and success, not someone who represents where they're trying to escape from." She did not argue. She just turned back to her phone and started filming alone. The comments on her posts began to change. Followers started asking about her personal life, about whether she had a partner, about her relationship status. Keisha never posted photos of us together anymore. Our wedding pictures had been archived from her Instagram grid. I had become invisible in her digital world. But the online erasure was nothing compared to how she spoke to me in private. The small comments started innocently enough, but grew progressively cruel. "Do you really need that second plate?" she asked while watching me eat dinner. "All that fried food is destroying your body, Chitty. Do you not care about your health? I cannot believe you ordered pizza again. There is meal prep in the fridge. My trainer said that being around people with unhealthy habits makes it harder to maintain discipline. He is not wrong." Each comment felt like a small cut, and over time those cuts created deep wounds. I started eating in secret, hiding fast food bags in my car, feeling ashamed of my basic human need for food. The joy I once found in eating had turned into guilt and self-loathing. Everything shifted when Keisha started attending networking events in Buckhead and Midtown without me. These were exclusive gatherings for entrepreneurs, wellness professionals, and influencers. Places where successful, attractive, fitness-focused people gathered to make connections and build their brands. "You would not enjoy it," she said when I asked why I was never invited. "It is boring business stuff, lots of standing around making small talk. You hate that kind of thing anyway." She was not wrong. I did hate networking events. But the real reason she did not want me there became painfully obvious when I saw the photos posted online. Every event photo showed Keisha surrounded by fit, successful-looking people. The men were tall and athletic with designer clothes and confident smiles. The women were slim and polished with perfect makeup and expensive handbags. Everyone looked like they belonged in a fitness magazine or luxury lifestyle commercial. I would have stood out like a sore thumb. A 360-pound IT guy in an off-the-rack suit, sweating through social anxiety, unable to discuss wellness trends or fitness protocols. Darius Thompson, her personal trainer, appeared in more and more of her photos. They were always professional, always appropriate, just a trainer and client at industry events. But the way he looked at her in those pictures, the way his hand rested on her lower back during group photos, the inside jokes in the comment sections of their posts, it all felt too familiar, too intimate. "Darius is helping me expand the fitness side of the boutique," Keisha explained when I finally mentioned my discomfort. "He is bringing his client base to our classes. This is business, Chitty. This is how you network in this industry." I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. So I swallowed my suspicions and tried to be supportive even as the distance between us grew wider. She stopped coming to bed at the same time as me. She was always up late responding to Instagram messages, planning content, coordinating with other influencers. When she finally did come to bed, she stayed on her side, no longer curling into me the way she used to. Our intimate life had evaporated completely. It had been months since we had been physically close. Every time I tried to initiate, she had an excuse. "I am exhausted from training. I have an early morning client call. I am just not feeling it tonight." The rejection hurt worse than any comment about my weight. It confirmed what I had been trying not to believe, that she was no longer attracted to me, that my body disgusted her, that I had become an obstacle to the life she wanted to build. The breaking point came at the Atlanta Wellness Expo, a massive 3-day event at the Georgia World Congress Center showcasing fitness brands, nutrition companies, and wellness entrepreneurs from across the Southeast. Keisha had secured a vendor booth for her boutique and had been preparing for months. "You are coming, right?" she asked me the week before, her tone suggesting she hoped I would decline. "Of course I am coming," I said. "I want to support you." She forced a smile. "Great, maybe wear something. Nice, it is a professional event." I bought a new suit, the largest size I could find at a big and tall store in Marietta. Even then, it fit uncomfortably tight. But I wanted to look presentable for my wife, to prove I could fit into her new world even if I did not look like everyone else in it. The expo was overwhelming. Thousands of fitness enthusiasts, bodybuilders, yoga instructors, and wellness gurus packed into the convention center. Everywhere I looked, I saw toned bodies in athletic wear, people sipping green smoothies, discussing macros and workout splits and biohacking techniques. I felt like a whale in a sea of sharks. People stared, some pointed, a few laughed. I heard whispered comments as I passed. What is he doing here? Clearly not taking advantage of any of these services. That is Keisha's husband? Seriously. I found Keisha at her boutique booth, which looked absolutely incredible. She had created an Instagram-worthy display with plants, neon signs, product samples, and a photo backdrop. Several people were already there, browsing her merchandise and taking pictures. When she saw me approaching, something flickered across her face. Embarrassment? Disappointment? She quickly recovered and gave me a brief hug. "Hey babe, thanks for coming," she said, then immediately turned to a customer. "This is our signature body butter, all organic ingredients locally sourced." I stood awkwardly to the side, unsure what to do with myself. Nobody acknowledged me. I was invisible, or worse, an inconvenience taking up valuable space in the booth. Darius arrived around 11 in the morning, looking like he had stepped out of a men's health magazine. Tall, muscular, wearing fitted athletic gear that showed off his physique. He greeted Keisha with a long hug, lifting her slightly off the ground while she laughed. "My favorite client," he said loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Looking absolutely amazing as always." He glanced at me briefly. "What is up, man?" Not a question, just an acknowledgement before dismissing me entirely. For the next 2 hours, I watched Keisha and Darius work the booth together like a well-oiled machine. They joked, they flirted, they posed for photos with customers and influencers. They looked like the perfect wellness power couple. And I was just the fat husband standing in the corner, sweating through my too-tight suit, completely out of place. I overheard the conversation that shattered my world while standing near the expo's food court. 2 women from Keisha's wellness community were talking loudly, not realizing I was within earshot or perhaps not caring. "Girl, I still cannot believe Keisha is married to that big guy. Have you seen him?" "I know, right? After all that work she has put into her transformation, into building her brand, she is still with someone who looks like that. It makes no sense." Darius told me they are basically roommates now. He said she is just waiting for the right time to leave. I would have left already. Can you imagine being a wellness influencer but your husband is obese? That is such a bad look for the brand. They laughed, sipping their pressed juices while discussing my marriage like it was gossip entertainment. I felt sick, but not from the fried chicken I had eaten for lunch. I felt sick because deep down I knew they were right. I had become a liability to Keisha's image, an embarrassment to her brand. I left the expo without saying goodbye. I drove home to our house in Cascade Heights, sat in the driveway for an hour, and finally accepted the truth I had been avoiding for months. My marriage was over. Keisha came home around 9 that night, energized from the expo's success, talking rapidly about connections she made and opportunities that emerged. She finally noticed my silence. "What is wrong with you?" she asked, irritation creeping into her voice. "Are you sleeping with Darius?" I asked directly. She stopped mid-motion, her face a mixture of surprise and anger. "What? No, Chitty, what are you talking about? Are you planning to leave me?" The silence that followed told me everything. She could not even deny it quickly enough to be convincing. She just stared at me, caught, her mind clearly calculating her response. "I have been thinking," she finally said, sitting down across from me. "About us, about where we are, about where I am going versus where you are staying." "I am staying," I repeated. "Keisha, I am the one who built your entire business. I gave you everything. And I appreciate that," she said, her tone shifting to business-like detachment. "But appreciation does not mean we are compatible anymore. Look at us, Chitty, really look. We are living completely different lives now. You are still eating fast food and working IT jobs. I am building a wellness empire. We do not make sense together." "I am still the same person you married," I said, my voice breaking. "The same person who loved you when nobody else did. The same person who believed in you." "Exactly," she said coldly. "You are the same, and I am not. I have grown, evolved, transformed, and you have stayed exactly the same except heavier." The cruelty of that statement took my breath away. This was not the woman I married. This was someone else entirely, someone obsessed with image and status and social media validation. "I want a divorce," she announced. I have already spoken to a lawyer. Since the business is in my name and you gifted me the startup money, you have no claim to it. The house is in both names, so we will split that. I will move out by the end of the month. You have already spoken to a lawyer? I asked in disbelief. You planned this. I have been planning this for 6 months, Chitty. I just needed the business to be stable first. She moved in with Darius 3 weeks later. They went Instagram official immediately, posting couples workout videos and relationship content that got tens of thousands of likes. The comments celebrated them as relationship goals, as the perfect fitness power couple, as inspiration for anyone wanting to level up their lives. I became the deleted chapter in her success story, the before picture she wanted everyone to forget. The first month after Keisha left was the darkest period of my entire life. I stopped going to work, calling in sick day after day until my manager from the Alpharetta tech company called to express concern. I stopped showering, stopped cleaning the house, stopped doing anything except eating and sleeping and existing in a fog of depression. Food became my only companion. I ordered delivery 3 times a day. Pizza, Chinese food, fried chicken, burgers, whatever I wanted without Keisha's judgmental comments or disappointed sighs. I ate until I felt sick, then ate more to numb the emotional pain. Within a month, I had gained another 40 pounds, pushing me past 400 pounds for the first time in my life. My brother Marcus finally forced his way into my house on a Tuesday afternoon, using the spare key I had given him years ago. He found me on the couch, surrounded by takeout containers, wearing the same clothes I had been wearing for 4 days. "Chitty, what the hell, man?" Marcus said, genuine fear in his voice. "You look terrible, you smell terrible. When was the last time you left this house?" I could not remember. Days blurred together into an endless cycle of eating and sleeping and hating myself. I had stopped checking social media after seeing too many photos of Keisha and Darius looking happy and healthy and perfect together. Every image was a reminder of my failure, my inadequacy, my worthlessness. "She was right, Marcus," I said, my voice hollow. "I am disgusting. I am an embarrassment. Nobody wants to be with someone who looks like me." Marcus sat down beside me, physically pushing aside the trash to make space. "Listen to me, little brother. Keisha is a shallow, ungrateful person who used you to build her dream and then threw you away when you no longer fit her aesthetic. But you cannot let her destroy you. You cannot give her that power." "What power do I have left?" I asked. "I gave her everything, my money, my time, my skills, my love, and it was not enough because I am not enough." "You are enough," Marcus said firmly. "But you need help, man, real help. This is not just about Keisha anymore. This is about you hating yourself so much that you are literally eating yourself to death." He made an appointment for me with Dr. Jennifer Morrison, a therapist in Midtown Atlanta who specialized in trauma, depression, and emotional eating disorders. I almost canceled 3 times before finally forcing myself to go. Dr. Morrison was a middle-aged black woman with kind eyes and a no-nonsense approach. She did not coddle me or tell me everything would be okay. She told me the truth. "Chitty, you have been using food as emotional self-medication since childhood. Every time someone hurt you, rejected you, or made you feel less than, you turned to food for comfort. And now that you have experienced the ultimate rejection from someone you loved and trusted, you are engaging in self-destructive behavior that will kill you if you do not address it." "I do not know how to stop," I admitted, crying for the first time since Keisha left. "Food is the only thing that makes me feel better." "It does not make you feel better," she corrected gently. "It makes you feel numb. There is a difference. Feeling better requires actually processing your emotions, not burying them under French fries and pizza." We began weekly sessions that forced me to confront decades of pain. The childhood bullying, the self-hatred, the belief that I was only valuable if I was useful to others, the pattern of giving everything to people who gave nothing back. Dr. Morrison connected me with Dr. James Chen, a physician in Buckhead who specialized in medically supervised weight management. Dr. Chen did not shame me or lecture me about willpower. He treated my obesity as a complex medical condition requiring comprehensive treatment. "Chitty, we are going to approach this holistically," Dr. Chen explained during our first appointment. "Mental health, physical health, nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, everything is connected. And we are going to take this slow and sustainable, not crash diets or extreme measures that never work long-term." I also joined a therapy group for men dealing with divorce and body image issues. Sitting in a church basement in East Atlanta with 7 other guys who understood my pain was transformative. These were men who had been betrayed, rejected, and abandoned. Men who had turned to food or alcohol or work to cope with emotional trauma. For the first time in my life, I did not feel alone in my struggle. I realized that my worth was not determined by a number on a scale or by whether my wife found me attractive. My worth was inherent, unchangeable, not dependent on external validation. I started walking, just 10 minutes a day at first, around my neighborhood in Cascade Heights, then 20 minutes, then 30. I was not trying to lose weight. I was trying to feel something other than despair. The movement helped, fresh air helped, sunshine helped. I cleaned up my diet, not because I hated my body, but because I wanted to feel better physically. I worked with a nutritionist who taught me that food was fuel and medicine, not punishment or reward. I learned to eat mindfully, to recognize hunger versus emotional emptiness, to nourish myself with intention. The weight came off slowly. 5 pounds the first month, 8 pounds the second month, 12 pounds the third month. I was not focused on the numbers, though. I was focused on healing, on becoming whole, on rebuilding a life that had purpose beyond serving someone else's dreams. I also rediscovered my love for technology and coding. During my marriage, I had used my skills exclusively to build Keisha's business, neglecting my own professional development. I started taking online courses in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. I built apps in my free time. I contributed to open source projects. One of those side projects, a fitness and wellness app that used AI to create personalized workout and nutrition plans, gained unexpected traction. I built it as a tool for myself to track my own health journey, but when I posted about it in a tech forum, other people wanted access. Within 6 months, the app had 10,000 users. Within a year, it had 100,000 users. I incorporated it as a company, brought on a small team, secured angel investment from an Atlanta tech incubator, and suddenly found myself running a legitimate startup. The irony was not lost on me. Keisha had built a wellness business focused on aesthetics and image. I had accidentally built a wellness technology company focused on sustainable health and genuine transformation. Her business relied on her personal brand and social media presence. Mine relied on functionality, results, and user satisfaction. By the time 18 months had passed since our divorce, I had lost 140 pounds. I weighed 260 pounds, the lightest I had been since high school. But more importantly, I had gained confidence, purpose, and self-respect. The Atlanta Tech Summit was the city's premier technology conference, held annually at the Westin Peachtree Plaza. As the founder of a rapidly growing wellness tech startup, I had been invited to speak on a panel about health technology innovation. It was my first major public speaking engagement, and I was nervous but excited. I arrived early wearing a tailored navy suit that actually fit my new body. I barely recognized myself in the mirror. The man staring back was confident, healthy, and successful. Everything Keisha had wanted me to be, I had become, but not for her, for myself. I was reviewing my presentation notes in the conference lobby when I heard a familiar voice. "Chitty, oh my God, is that you?" I turned to see Keisha standing 10 feet away, her mouth literally hanging open in shock. She looked different too, thinner than when I had last seen her, almost gaunt. Her skin had a dull quality despite professional makeup, dark circles under her eyes that concealer could not quite hide. She wore an expensive outfit, but something about her overall appearance seemed diminished, desperate. "Keisha," I said calmly, my heart surprisingly steady. "How are you?" Wow, you look incredible," she stammered, walking closer. "I almost did not recognize you. What are you doing here?" "I am speaking on the Health Tech Innovation panel," I said. "My company is one of the conference sponsors." "Your company?" Her eyes widened. "What company?" I explained briefly about the wellness app, the user growth, the funding, the team I had built. With each sentence, I watched her expression shift from shock to something that looked like regret mixed with calculation. "That is amazing, Chitty," she said, her voice taking on a familiar sweetness. "I always knew you were brilliant. I used to tell you that all the time, remember?" I did remember. I also remembered how that praise had vanished the moment I no longer served her purposes. I said nothing, just waited. "Listen, I am actually here networking for the boutique," she continued. "We have been trying to integrate more technology into our services. Maybe we could grab coffee and talk about potential collaboration. I would love to hear more about what you are building." Before I could respond, my business partner Jasmine walked up, a brilliant young black woman from Spelman College who had joined my company as Chief Technology Officer. She was brilliant, driven, and had become a close friend over the past year. "Chitty, we are on in 15 minutes, Jasmine said, then noticed Keisha. Oh, sorry, did not mean to interrupt. No interruption, I said. Jasmine, this is Keisha, my ex-wife. Keisha, this is Jasmine, my business partner and CTO. I watched Keisha take in Jasmine, young, beautiful, successful, standing comfortably beside me with easy familiarity. I saw the jealousy flash across her face. It was good seeing you, Keisha, I said genuinely. I hope everything works out with your business, but I need to prepare for my panel. Wait, she said quickly, desperation creeping into her voice. Can we talk later? There are things I need to say to you, things I need to explain. I looked at this woman who had once been my entire world. The woman who had left me at my lowest, who had called me an embarrassment, who had erased me from her success story. And I felt nothing but mild pity. There is nothing to explain, Keisha. You made your choice. You chose image over substance, status over loyalty, aesthetics over love. And that is okay. That is who you are. But I have built a new life now, one that does not include people who only value me when I am useful to them or when I fit their brand aesthetic. I forgive you for what you did, but forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It means I am no longer carrying your betrayal as my burden. I wish you well. I genuinely do. But we do not have anything more to say to each other. I walked away with Jasmine toward the conference hall. Behind me, I heard Keisha calling my name, but I did not turn around. That chapter of my life was closed. The panel went incredibly well. I spoke about using technology to democratize health and wellness, making sustainable transformation accessible to everyone regardless of their starting point. The audience response was overwhelming. After the panel, investors approached me, media requested interviews, and potential partners wanted meetings. Later that evening, my phone buzzed with a message from Marcus. Bro, did you see Keisha's business is closing? Just saw on Instagram her boutique is shutting down. Apparently Darius left her for some Instagram model and the whole thing fell apart. Karma is real. I did not respond. I did not check her social media. I did not feel satisfaction or vindication. I just felt free. Free from the woman who had tried to define my worth by her standards. Free from the belief that I needed to shrink myself, physically or emotionally, to deserve love. Free to build something meaningful with people who valued substance over surface. The one who knows their value does not need validation. And I finally knew mine. If you enjoyed this story, like this video, and leave a comment telling me what you thought. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get alerts for new stories like this one. Thanks for watching.